Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the D&N Show. When today I am your co-host D-Nag, and I am flying solo today, but that does not hinder us from giving you today's news. Any recent news following sports and gaming, where it's basically is the D&N Show news today. We'll see, today has been episode 4, week 4 of the NFL, and a lot of stuff has been happening today so far. Now, so far, as of recording this is Sunday, and it's not quite Sunday Night Football. We got a while yet for that, but as of right now, the current game so far, the Lions have basically been running the NFC North the last couple weeks. Now, beating the Packers on Thursday Night Football, they have improved to 3-1, and they are one of the better-looking teams in the NFC North so far. So I'm really excited to see what they do so far, because honestly, Detroit is looking a heck of a lot better than I thought they would be. It was really surprising, but it's very exciting to see. Next, the Broncos. Now, we had a bit of a cripple match going on this week between the Broncos and the Bears, if you'll call it. Both teams are 0-3, and both teams have been struggling really bad this year so far. So one team had to finally get a win, and turns out the Broncos won in this sort of cripple match, if you suppose you'll call it, against the Bears. Now, I don't believe that the game was very high, 31-28, so it was even pretty close compared to being what I thought it would be, but I'm glad at least one of those teams got a win, to be totally honest. Now, the Eagles, however, the Philadelphia Eagles are still looking really, really strong. I think they got a big win again this week, and they're looking pretty hard to beat. So that is pretty exciting too. Now, the Cowboys, however, made a very, very big comeback this week because they won their game pretty far-fetched. I think it was like 31-3. 31-3. And I guess it's been delayed for the finish. But anyway, yeah. So they're basically going to they basically made a comeback if they finish the game. The Dolphins the last couple weeks have been looking really, really hard to beat. However, they did just lose to the Bills, which is really interesting because now they finally show some weakness. Not even weakness, but I guess it was a good game. It was okay, 48-20, I believe it was. So it wasn't overly close, but however, the Dolphins look like they actually can be beaten for once. They have been looking pretty hard to beat lately, so that's good to see that finally somebody as unstoppable as the Dolphins have been, especially last week, winning their game 70-20. They had to I thought they would have made a very, very hard case to be unstoppable this week, but it looks like they have not done that, and they lose again. So, as far as anything else goes, the game that I'm not very excited about is that the Steelers ended up losing again this week. Now, the Browns, the Bengals, and the Steelers all lost this week. So, the Ravens beat the Browns today, the Bengals lost, and the Steelers lost. So now the Ravens have sole possession of first in the AFC North now at 3-1, with Steelers and Browns going 2-2. And Baltimore going behind them, not Baltimore, the Cincinnati Bengals following behind them at 1-3. So congrats on the Ravens so far. They looked pretty good today. But however, honestly, Pittsburgh, Matt Canada specifically, you do really get the gray spoon this week. I mean, you just absolutely suck. I mean, oh my God, 6 fucking points against the Houston Texans. 6. Matt Canada has got to go. And I mean, if they keep him after this season and how bad, if he even makes it till halfway through the season, I'd be surprised. But if he makes it coming back into next season, I would be totally, utterly surprised. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because of how, for some reason, Pittsburgh thinks that they need to keep their coaching teams around. But Matt Canada seriously has got to fucking go. 6 fucking points. The only reason why they won last week is because of the defense. And even the defense looked pretty bad today. C.J. Stroud for the Texans balled out all day on the Texans defense. Pass after pass after pass. Wow. And the thing that tipped it off, the thing that sealed it up, is you have a 4th and 1. Pittsburgh's down by 10 and have a chance to really make a difference and to get the first down on a 4th and 1, basically 4th and inches, and to go on to try and score a fucking touchdown to bring it to win 1 score. You come out in shotgun formation on a 4th and 1. What in the absolute fucking hell is that? And to come out, and then Kenny Pickett possibly ruins his knee. Now we don't have nothing confirmational as far as I have seen has come out. But 4th and 1 in a crucial drive, and you come out in shotgun formation. What in the sorry fucking shit is that? Matt Canada, definitely you get the fucking gray spoon today, because you need to be fired. And I mean really fucking fired. Like, you should not have a current job in the NFL. The best thing you should probably be doing right now is calling play-by-plays for the local JV game. That's fucking sorry and fucking stupid. 6 points against the fucking Texans. This is bullshit. That's all I'm going to say on that topic of the Steelers, because that was just sorry. I mean, I could not watch the game personally, but I listened to it the feed as it was going, play by play, and that was fucking pathetic. I'm glad I didn't watch that game, because that must have been really, really hard to watch. I mean, scoreless in the first half. Scoreless. You ended the first half 16-0. And ended up coming out and scoring 2 fucking field goals. Holy shit. And you've got sitting here, Antonio Brown of all people has been clowning Matt Canada every fucking week at this point, saying, bring me back. I'll be your offensive coordinator. I want to come back as offensive coordinator. And I'm sorry, as much as that would be weird to see, as Antonio Brown coming back after all the crap that he pulled, could he really possibly be any worse than Matt Canada at this point? I mean, let's be honest. 2 fucking field goals in 1 game. That's it. That's all you scored. 2 field goals. That is a sorry excuse for an offensive coordinator calling plays. He is not only the worst offensive coordinator the NFL has, but he is just not only the worst, but he is the most predictable offensive coordinator ever. It is stupid. So could Antonio Brown really be any worse than Matt Canada? No, I'm not saying he's going to have a chance to come back. He probably won't. Antonio Brown burned his bridge with Pittsburgh. Now, if they manage to come give him a chance, I would be honestly surprised. I would generally be surprised. But the only time I'm going to care at this point in the season, now I'm rooting for the Steelers. I'm still going to be keeping track of them every week and seeing how they go. But the only time I honestly can say that I would generally be excited for Pittsburgh this year, unless they start doing good, unless they start catching up, then I would be surprised and then I will be excited. But the only thing that's going to make me more excited for Pittsburgh this year is seeing across the screen, across my social media, Matt Canada has been fired as the offensive coordinator. Because he needs to fucking go. Absolutely, hands down, needs to fucking go. Now, that's all I'm saying on that topic. Now we get into a little bit of NBA news. Now that the season is warming up, the season hasn't quite started yet, but I believe they're in training camp now. They're making progress towards the beginning of the season. Damian Lillard, this last week, has got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, honestly, as a Miami fan, I'm kind of upset about that. However, it doesn't surprise me, considering Miami, I guess it was reported that Miami tried absolutely everything they could, outside of them at Portland asking for Jimmy Butler or Bam Adebayo, which was not going to happen under any circumstance. They tried everything they possibly could to get Dame to come to Miami. Because, if you all know, Damian Lillard specifically requested a trade to the Miami Heat. Now, basically from what I heard, Portland basically told Miami to eat shit. And they were not dealing Damian Lillard to Miami. There was no way that they were going to do that under any circumstance. They basically told Miami to eat shit. And no matter what Miami did, no matter how many times they tried, Portland just would not get a deal done for the Miami. So then when the Milwaukee Bucks came in and the Phoenix Suns finally got rid of DeAndre Ayton, I think he was a little bit of a cancer in their locker room, as far as I know. But he got traded. I believe he got traded to Milwaukee. To Portland. To Portland, along with Drew Holiday went to Portland as well. But it was really disappointing to see Dame go to Portland. It was really disappointing to see Dame to go to Milwaukee. However, I am excited because I'm excited for him to finally get a chance to go win a championship with a good team, unlike Portland. Because Damian Lillard has been one of my more favorite players to watch when he's been playing. So it is exciting to see him finally get a chance to go after a championship, but I really wish it would have been Miami, but I guess as well was also reported that Damian Lillard also wanted to rescind his trade request if a deal wasn't getting done to Miami, but the Portland GM said, you are not coming back. Now, whether that is the truth, I will say whether that is the truth or not, if that was the case, that would look really bad on Portland's case, because I'm sorry, but if you refuse him to get traded to Miami, and he says, I'm sorry, I was wrong, I'll come back. Would you take him back at that point? Sometimes in a different scenario, maybe. But once he were officially requested a trade, I think Portland was done. So it was kind of a messed up situation, but I really wish he would have came to Miami, but that's just the way it is, because Miami has missed out on 5 stars, not stars, like 4 stars, major players in Kevin Durant, James Harden, Bradley Beal, and Damian Lillard. But now Miami also lost out on Drew Holiday, because it was reported that they were interested in trading for Drew Holiday, but Drew Holiday ended up going from the Bucks. After he said that he wanted to retire a Buck, he got traded the next day, and now from Portland he goes to Boston to go play with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, which that makes Boston an interesting team because they picked up Kristaps Porzingis this year, and now they've picked up Drew Holiday, which makes them a pretty interesting team to watch. Because not going to lie, as far as anything goes, I'm predicting that the Eastern Conference is going to come down to, as long as those teams can stay healthy, It'll be Milwaukee. I could see it going Milwaukee and Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. That is going to be my prediction this year. However, I'm hoping that Miami makes a good playoff run again after they were just in the NBA Finals last season. So I'm hoping maybe they make a good playoff run too. I'm hoping to see them I'm always, as a Miami fan, I'm always hoping to see them in the finals after they've made it to the finals twice now in the last couple of years. So I'm hoping they still make the finals, but I think as just an outside opinion, I think the Eastern Conference is going to come down to Milwaukee and Boston. And that's going to do it. I believe that's going to do it for the sports edition. So now we will move on to the gaming edition. So now for the gaming edition so far, I don't have much on the gaming side. The only thing I have seen is that Assassin's Creed Mirage and Spider-Man 2 this month that are coming out this month. Assassin's Creed's coming out on the 4th, and Spider-Man, I believe, comes out the 19th, if I'm not mistaken. But both of those games have gone gold, which, for those of you who don't know what gone gold means for games, if you don't, just context, gone gold means meaning gone gold, when a game has gone gold, it means they are ready for digital copy. The game is basically ready for release. So I am really excited to play those games, and those games will be played on this channel. I will start out with Assassin's Creed Mirage, and I believe I personally will be doing one episode a week for the Let's Plays, for starting out with Assassin's Creed, and then we'll move on to Spider-Man 2. However, I believe eventually Natsu is going to be doing one video a week as well on his end for his gameplays. So I believe so far, once that starts up, we will be having one episode of him doing a playthrough, and one episode of me doing a playthrough on a certain day throughout the week, and then followed by a D&N show on the weekends. So that, as of right now, is a rough draft of our schedule right now. But that's as far as anything I've had or I've seen on the gaming side of news. So, without further ado, I believe I'm interested to see how tonight's game goes, the Chiefs versus the Jets on Sunday Night Football. I'm excited to play those games that are coming out this month as well. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we will see y'all in the next one. Have a good one. See you next time on the D&N Show News Today.